Hey gardeners, it's a bluebird morning. You know what that means? That means the sun's shining and the eastern bluebird is active and just doing that beautiful little call in the mornings. They're cheerleaders and they're all up and down my driveway and they're cheering me on to get out and enjoy the morning sun and to get out and take a hike. It's one of my favorite times of the year and I just love hearing them sing out, truly, truly, and they're cheering you on. So if you see bluebirds in your neighborhood, you can increase the populations by providing habitat for them, by putting up bluebird boxes. So I'm going to show you some of the ones here in the park, which really are a better demonstration on how not to put up a bluebird box. So, but let me show you how beautiful it is out here this morning. So there's my horses out in the field. It's a beautiful day, and the birds are all up and down this driveway. And they love, one of the characteristics of the bluebird is they love to perch on a tree and then they swoop down into the driveway or into the field, catch their insect, and they'll often fly back up. There's one right in front of us. Oh, he's going in that box over there. Now there's a box on the telephone pole. That's a no-no, because on a phone pole you can find your predator will climb up. Oh, he's flying out to the left. Let's see if we can catch him in the video. They never behave. So they're going to make at least 2 or 3 broods in the summer. Your job is monitor the boxes. Don't just assume putting up a box is all you need to do. You should be out there checking it. There's a lot of other things that can happen. There's little bugs and things that you should be monitoring for and making sure that enemy house sparrow doesn't get in. Now, can you see that little guy? He's sitting on, this is a cherry tree in front of us, and the male and the female's right on the tree trunk itself. Of course, they both just flush. There's 3 of them. I can't really zoom too much to get this. There they are. There's 3 of them. Pretty cool. So they're going to give me 2 or 3 broods. I'm monitoring, trying to keep that house sparrow out. If you get a house sparrow, that's an alien species. There's nothing wrong with setting up some kind of control for that guy, because he's an enemy, and he will, I've seen him more than once take the babies out of the nest and throw them right on the ground, and it's occurred right here in the box that's on this telephone pole where it's not supposed to be. And he'll throw the babies out, and the house sparrow will even kill the eggs. And there's other predators as well. We find our little house wrens will do the same things. Oh, he flew away. Can you hear him up in the tree up there? This is just an old cherry tree. Oh, there's a pretty red one. He's sitting on the rim of that. They're showing off over here. So they're gonna make a nest. You have to learn to know what the nest looks like. It's always made of it's a fine little cup inside of there, and it makes it out of grasses. Is that them? Yep. No, those are 2 house finches that just came in, but they make their nest out of, they make it out of mostly grasses and pine needles, a lightweight little cup shape. And your objective is to put a predator guard on your pole to keep snakes and raccoons, because the raccoon can sit right on the roof of and reach in. They have real long arm reach. A raccoon can reach like 8. I've seen them reach 9 inches. When I put food on my porch and I put it in a cage at night, I've had a raccoon get into my shrimp jambalaya and eat it, and I think, how did he get in there? But they are long-armed, so you're protecting snakes. And even in the winter months, you might find that I've had flying squirrels inhabit my boxes, but I don't really have a problem with that. So get 2 to 3 broods, checking it weekly, monitoring your eggs. Let me say this, if you live in a community where you don't have open habitat like this, they need approximately an acre. And if you don't have that kind of habitat, then it's not the place for you to put up a birdhouse. You need urban neighborhoods. If you don't see bluebirds, then putting up a bluebird house is not exactly your best step. So that's just a wise thing. If you do see them in your neighborhood, you put up your bluebird house providing a water source. I've seen them come in and wash and take baths and things. So that's always a fun thing to do. Make sure you keep no cats going outside. That's another bad no. And if you're going to post your birdhouses, they should be put on a metal post. That's your better habitat. All right, enjoy this beautiful sunny day.